everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Some serious pride on the line in this contest as these two divisional rivals take the field together for the first time this season. Almost a playoff atmosphere surrounding the game between these two bitter opponents. It's the Cowboys going up against the Eagles. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Okay, Larry, thank you. I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Today, rivals square off, and the NF got a great matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. They come out here in the eye. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line. And they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again.
Back to throw. Over the middle, able to find Carew. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And, Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Jones now in motion left. A first down carry by Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Michael Kendricks is an inside linebacker who can roam sideline to sideline and make plays.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Calling a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Eagles. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now the Hall of Famer Dorsett, and this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Daniel, and he connects with Ertz, and he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A strong running. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Here we go. Green, 30, Leopard. Kill.
Off play action. Daniel. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And it's possible that today the most important group could be the linebackers.
Yeah, the second level, as we like to call them, right? Defensive front has to control things, but the linebackers, they do more than clean up. They help create big plays.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it with Tony D. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Daniel on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go now.
Again to Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man. It's Escobar. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
All right, here we go.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. The give is to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Again, it's Elliott. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Detroit. Let's go. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And what could he possibly be thinking? He just took the fair catch at the 1-yard line. Major mistake. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To the right side, caught by Salek. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, It used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From his own goal line, Daniel. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And how about the big boy, the D tackle there, feasting on the O-line, getting his squad 2 points.
The glory guys are the defensive ends and the outside linebackers. They create the pressure from the edge, but those big fellows inside that can collapse a pocket, sometimes they get rewarded too.
Extra round at the post-game buffet. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So we've got a 2nd and 5. After the penalty, it's Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They come out here in the eye. A handoff left, Elliott. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Second down following the run. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Escobar goes into motion. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Elliott. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going up top. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Third down, Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Third and one, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. One man on the back. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 48. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So they get the field goal here at the end of the 2nd quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Short kick. It's taken to the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Daniel. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Throwing on third down, Daniel. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's fourth.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taken in at the 11th. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Benny Logan. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down.
All right, here we go. Over. Detroit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They were looking that time for Leonte Carew. And fourth down coming up. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Eagles take possession. Philadelphia getting set to take the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Second down, 8. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They fake the give. Daniel, he's going to rifle one, and this will be caught at the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Another pistol look here. On 1st and 10, Daniel. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense.
Now let's go. Watch it now, Barney. Let's go.
They go play action with Daniel surveying the field. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
Back to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's 4th and 4. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's Smallwood as they begin on the ground. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Daniel looks to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll set up, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really getting to the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. 2nd and 10, Daniel again. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Daniel on 1st down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here we go now. Over. Watch him now, Barney.
To the air again, Daniel. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Daniel completes it to Aguilar. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 56 Mike. 56. Gun.
Daniel throwing again. This complete left side to Aguilar. A nice gain at 21 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
All right, here we go.
On first down, Daniel. Complete on the right side to Green Beckham. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dorial Green Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This one taken just inside the 10. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Fair punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Get a 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Detroit. Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Lucky Whitehead is intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll look to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. And now they'll look to throw. Finding time. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Watch it now, Barney.
Green Beckham has it over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. First down, a run with Smallwood. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run a...
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. 56. All right, now, look at 56. Watch it now, Barney.
Throwing on third down, Daniel. Past the 20, and he hits his man, Matthews. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Shotgun on third, Daniel. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Well, they have the yards anyway, so they're going to decline the penalty.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw now on first down. The left side completion to Jones. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Escobar with it over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just...